Hello, and why am I
Hi.
doing this clapping thing again? Oh man,
You're.
Kenny, stop clapping! All
Why
right, as you
not?
can hear, we have someone here with us today to help us out with our fic
It's
reading.
me.
Yes, Kenny, we know it's you.
Oh,
This is our friend Lydia, and by our,
Hi.
she's my
I mean,
friend.
it's Kenny's
I'm
friend, and
everyone's friend.
I never met her.
Yeah,
I
you see,
like
he
that.
called her by accident one day, and it was just kind of like an awkward conversation about how
Shut.
to like make the right
We're not
amount
gonna
of
talk about this,
sandwiches in the
Kenny.
party.
Oh
Yep.
God.
She's
That
famous too.
definitely what
Yeah,
World famous, in fact. So we had to make up her own name. It's
I'm
not
really
yeah.
Lydia.
popular in like
Her name
Japan.
isn't Lydia. Actually, it's
It's Ellen.
something from another
It's Ellen.
planet. Ellen?
DeGeneres,
It's
guys.
like
Her real name is Ellen DeGeneres.
her name is Ellen. Her name is Ellen Oprah.
Ellen
Yep.
Oprah, yes.
The,
I'm gonna
the
love
combination of the two greatest women of talking
Talk shows,
shows.
yeah. All right. So the fic we're reading today is from the feature box.
Fic.
The Eagle Has Landed by Cyanblackstone.
Ooh,
It's actually a very good one. I read it over. I'm like, I feel
sounds
horrible
American.
that I didn't stop to my writing of my own thing to read this. Anyways,
Sounds American,
the
dude.
America,
Mhm.
yeah.
I love America.
The description reads as follows. When Apollo 11 lands in the moon, Neil Armstrong utters his famous lines as his boots land under the lunar regolith. But when he turns around, he finds something no one was expecting or had ever planned for. There's an alien on the moon,
Plot
and
twist.
it's blue, four-legged, and staring at him. So that's where our friend Lydia comes in,
Hey.
and she's going to be voicing Luna for us today.
Just ahead of time, you know where the line is, right? Because I don't.
I have no idea.
We'll
I'm
find out
winging it,
eventually.
man.
You're
winging
just
it.
going to scroll along with us as we read, right?
Hopefully
Yep.
you'll notice.
I'm just gonna go with it.
Go with
All
the flow.
right.
All right, we're going to start
begin
reading, and
sec.
we're going to start with you this time, Kenny.
Yeah. All right. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The world cheered as Neil Armstrong, U.S. astronaut, became the first human being to set foot on the moon. The staticky images going live to mission control and millions of homes around the world show the spacesuited form of Armstrong slowly turning around.
What is that?
Came his panic-ridden voice, and on the feed he stumbled backwards and fell against the lander with a dull clang,
Ooh.
hearable as the
Wow.
vibrations traveled to his helmet mic.
Tranquility. This is Houston. What is what? Oh.
Don't just. The communication came to him quickly and seriously.
That's impossible.
He muttered. Muttered!
Houston, I think I may be experiencing hallucinations.
He paused.
But just in case, could you take a look at the area right in front of Tranquility? One moment, Tranquility.
Charlie Duke, the capsule commander, Capcom, for Apollo 11 said, before conferring with the other people at Mission Control.
Do we have camera there? I think we can look at a good angle, yes.
Came the reply. Tens, no hundreds of millions around the world held their breath at this unexpected turn of events. What had he seen?
Tranquility, this is Houston. Can you describe what you're seeing so we can catch it too?
Charlie asked.
Houston, it's some kind of quadrupedal life form. Just standing on the moon. It's giving me a look. Tranquility, a quadrupedal life form? Does it have any vacuum protection?
He asked before hissing.
Why don't we have that camera feed up yet? Houston, I don't think it does. Or if it does, I can't see it. It's just standing there. Looking at me. I can see its eyes. Copy Tranquility. We're working on the camera right now. Hold on. Got it.
Wintek exclaimed triumphantly. That was very triumphant, Kenny. The camera switched abruptly, and all activity stopped dead for a moment.
Tranquility, this is Houston. We see it too.
The gasp could be heard in almost every locale of the globe.
Aliens.
Came the mutter in 100 languages and 1,000 dialects. The resolution was bad, and at the distance it was from the lander, not more than a four-legged blob.
Can you give us details on it?
Armstrong cursed under his breath.
Fludge.
Though it was Kenny. Though it was clearly still audible.
It's blue. It's wearing some kind of armor. It has really big eyes. It's really creeping me out.
The blob moved.
It took a step forwards.
Neil blurted.
Buzz, get out of there. Bring the survival kit. It has a machete in it, right?
Aldrin's voice came back.
Copy.
The blob took another step forward.
This is
Its
insane.
Shut up. It's not your part yet.
Oh.
The blob took another step forwards, its shape clarifying slightly.
This is
Slightly.
insane.
Neil said loudly.
There's an alien on the moon. It looks like a freaking unicorn.
Buzz's voice cut in.
A unicorn?
After a brief pause, he spoke.
I guess we know where the Greeks got them from. Unicorns are aliens. Who would have guessed?
Third step forwards, and Neil took a step back.
Houston?
He asked nervously.
What should I do? Tranquility, does it appear to have any weaponry?
Charlie was rattled, his questions slow and hesitant as sweat began to bead on his brow and run down his back. There had been hundreds of contingency plans made for increasingly improbable situations, but nothing for contact with an alien. The possibility had been deemed so improbable it wasn't even worth the contingency planner's time. He thought hysterically some bureaucrats were probably resenting that fact right now.
No!
Neil's reply came back, the captive audiences glued to their televisions at the indistinct shape on their screen.
Right.
Charlie was out of ideas.
Tranquility, this is Houston. I'm going to need to get some higher clearance for any actions. This is a national security level right now. Hold one.
Frantically, I can't speak. He tore off his headset.
Someone get the chief of staff and the president on the line right now.
He ordered frantically.
Time is of the essence.
The Mission Control Center exploded into action as they began taking steps to contact all those they would have to.
Houston, we have a problem.
Neil said as Buzz joined him outside on the lunar surface.
I don't think we have time for that. It's continuing to advance towards us.
Charlie cursed. The folks at Mission Control would just have to do their best without authorization. There's no time for red tape or delaying in such a delicate situation. Think fast, he urged himself.
Colonel, get back to in the lander.
He urged.
Just in case something happens, get it prepped for a quick takeoff. Houston, the LM was never designed for a quick takeoff.
Aldrin's concerned voice came over the radio, even as he stopped his descent and began to climb the ladder back into the lander.
It'll be at least 20 minutes before it's prepped, and more after we close the hatch. Copy, Tranquility.
Charlie said.
Neil, take a few steps forward. Let's try something.
It was crazy. But this whole situation is crazy. Why not try something just as insane? Armstrong complied, and soon the two life forms stood a handful of yards apart, a stare off on the moon.
Neil, I want you to very carefully approach the
He cast about forward.
extraterrestrial. Roger.
Neil replied, no small amount of trepidation.
Looks...
Weakly, shut up. Weakly,
No.
as I'm going to say
Slow
whenever you
reader.
interrupt. Weakly, he joked.
Looks like I got to make history twice, Buzz. First to walk on the moon and first to make official contact with an alien.
Buzz returned.
Just be careful, Neil.
Neil took slow steps, one after another,
Step.
gradually
Step.
gradually drawing closer. There was no movement apparent on the feeds, but the astronaut halted for a moment.
It just cocked its head.
He reported. Soon they were just slightly more than an arm's length apart.
Now what, Houston?
Neil's clipped, stressed tone questioned. Charlie gulped. He was about to do something either very wise or very foolish.
I want you to try to touch your faceplate to some part of its head.
He said.
I want to try to get some information, some form of communication up, establish some kind of contact. Are you sure, Roger Houston?
I couldn't even figure out how to say that in my head. Armstrong's surprised voice came. Ever so slowly, he began to lean forwards, caution oozing from him with such strength that it was almost visible. The alien took a step back, but after Neil stopped, it took an equally careful step forwards, and leaned forwards until they were eye to faceplate, not more than 6 inches apart. 600 million people around the globe held their breath as Neil's voice said,
Let's do this.
and slowly touched his faceplate to the head area of the Well, the unicorn. There's no dancing around that fact. The astronaut took a deep breath to steady his shattered nerves before enunciating clearly and slowly while pointing at himself.
Neil.
Clearly, Charlie could see the unicorn take a step back from what he thought might be surprise. Then it reestablished contact, and a decidedly female voice said, just as slowly as the human had, Lydia.
Luna?
No.
That's a
Neil.
word.
No. You're a bit
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Neil.
While pointing to him.
World famous.
It then pointed at itself.
Luna.
Her voice was tinny, but still easily understandable. Those in mission control let out a breath, faces blue from the anticipation.
Good job, Neil.
Charlie said, relief obvious in his slightly shaking voice.
Buzz, you can start preparations for takeoff. You've got, slightly less than 7 hours max of possible moonwalking time right now? Keep going.
Your turn, Kenny.
Oh.
Hey, that's still you, sweetie.
Ah, yes, Houston. About that was the estimate.
Both replied.
Buzz, Buzz, I want you to take some samples, take some photos, and plant the flag just as the mission was supposed to. Neil, I want you to try to get something else across. Copy that.
They both replied. Buzz began descending the ladder as Neil and the alien regarded each other. Again, they made contact, and this time Neil gestured to the Earth, half visible on the horizon.
Earth.
He said,
Earth.
she, or at least that's what it sounded like to everyone on Earth, repeated slowly. She broke a contact again, and Neil reported.
She's looking at Earth now.
She pointed out into the blackness of space and said, touching Neil's faceplate,
Oh, that's a word. Equestria.
Yes, and paused.
Equestria.
Neil repeated.
You've got all that, Houston? Yes, Tranquility, we got all that.
Buzz came in over the line.
I got pictures of the lander.
He said.
And also the extraterrestrial. Copy, Buzz.
On Earth, the frenzy was only just the beginning. The analysts dropped everything, in some cases entirely literally, and rushed to analyze the two spoken words. The president, now on the line with Mission Control and the Joint Chiefs of Staff, began considering the implications of life out in the stars. Across the Atlantic, the Soviets did the same, along with every other nation of any note. All knew just one thing. No matter what happened with Apollo 11, how contact went, or what occurred afterwards, things would never be the same in every way. Humanity had reached out, taking their first step toward the stars, setting foot on a body beyond their own planet. And the stars, it seemed, had reached out in kind. Yay, we did it!
Oh, I'm sorry, I got mixed up in the voices. Not much
Yeah.
clarification.
Yeah, you got... Kenny, you got...
I tried setting Neil to doing the kind of voice. But, and then Charlie, I kept trying to do one, but I mean, it's hard to. I have to do it different pitches. I didn't feel like doing a girl voice because that's also obnoxious.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, it is. He does it at school. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Mm.
I remember that.
So, the world famous Lydia, right? She had the biggest role ever.
She had a
Totally.
very big role. Yeah,
And I
actually.
can say words and everything. I'm so impressive.
It was like, 4 or 5 words, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. I believe it was 4.
We pulled her out of saving the world just to do this. So you guys better be
Yeah.
thanking her.
So yeah, if you see something wrong in your part of the world,
Yeah, if you see like a exploded Europe or
I'm
whatnot,
sorry,
Their
but it's our fault, you know.
It's their fault.
just blame Lydia.
You can just like go after them with pitchforks if you want.
Pitchforks.
Yes,
What
pitchforks.
What
does
century is
that-
this for you?
I don't know.
I
It's-
was hoping for more of like pencils.
Pencils.
Some
That's-
cotton
I can
candy
get
too.
some man
Cotton
right now,
candy.
actually.
Poke you
Come on.
real hard until you're done.
Come on.
Cotton candy. Let's go with that.
Cotton candy.
Yeah,
It's
that was
delicious.
fun, and that was actually really good job on Lydia's part. Thank you
Oh,
very
yes.
much.
She almost
Lydia.
pronounced it
No.
right.
Great job
Not
on
that
Lydia's
I'm
part.
stop or anything.
Not knowing anything about this fandom at all.
Nope.
No, this was random.
Should do Doctor Who sometime.
You should do
Yeah.
crack fics.
You-
Oh my god, there are some crazy crack fics out there.
We should definitely do crack fix, and you should help us do some crack fix. All right. So maybe next time. I
Still
don't know.
unpaid.
We should do some crack supernatural fix. You know.
There's like a Benedict Cumberbatch fic that ends in a very strange way that you would never see coming.
Ooh.
It's hilarious.
Does he jump off a building?
No.
Oh.
Aw.
And
Do
he
a-
didn't jump.
do
He
a
jumped
flip.
into like a thing. I'm not gonna spoil it for
Oh.
anyone who hasn't seen Sherlock yet. Go do it.
I haven't seen series 3 yet.
Oh,
I
you
haven't even
No.
finished. I'm on like the 3rd episode of season 1, and I gotta watch all 3 episodes of season 2.
There's 6 episodes. It's really not that hard to catch
There-
up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't finish
Nine.
anything. All right.
Just-
It's 9 now.
All right,
Anyways, so,
so yeah, that was a really good fic.
like if you enjoyed.
Yeah, like a favorite, but
Definitely
Here's the
subscribe.
I can see why this made it in the feature box. This was a very lighthearted comedy fic. It kind of extends from it stems from a point in history. It doesn't change much in history, but it's just one little thing, and it's just actually probably would have changed much, but
A lot, probably.
definitely.
He could totally be friends with little blue alien people and
They're ponies.
still be where we are today.
What if Neil's like first reaction was like, I must mount it?
See, now
Oh,
that
no,
would be
it's-
creepy.
Well, it's a horse, so I mean,
I know, but still.
battle ready horse.
There was that one part where I was like, I'm gonna touch my faceplate to it. That
Oh.
sounded a little creepy.
Actually, here's a fun thing for all you listeners out there, and for you, Lydia. The
Well, hey,
touching your faceplate against like the alien or an alien, that comes from an idea from H.G. Wells that what happens when you touch the faceplate against the alien, when you speak, the vibrations will go through the helmet, and the whatever you're touching, the alien, they're going to be able to hear it through the vibrations since there is no sound in space.
but what if there was like a
Oh.
giant horn in the way?
Well, you're gonna have to get around that.
Snap through the
Sure.
helmet.
So yeah, like if you enjoyed, subscribe. I would tell you to subscribe to Lydia, but I'm not really aware if she has anything related to YouTube.
I don't.
Probably gonna have a channel in the description below. I'm not sure. I pointed to see, as if there was a description below, but there isn't.
No, I
Or
don't.
you're not seeing me.
Maybe we should point to the right and then hack YouTube so it's on the right instead.
Remember when it was on
That would be
the
fun.
right, Kenny?
I
Dude, that's
practiced my
like-
hackertyper.com, so I'm all set.
Oh
I
yeah.
have that website.
Anyways,
Alright.
yeah.
Right.